Good evening. Yes, 5 o'clock. It is evening. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. It is Wednesday at 5. And I'm excited to be here today for our own again Facebook Live program. So come on in. Invite your friends, invite your family, invite folks who may benefit from. I'm trying to put this comment on here. Folks who could benefit from learning more about real estate. So please share, please like, let folks know that they can get information of value here at our own again Facebook Live. And I just want to ask you if you have found this information beneficial that I have been sharing with you guys every week, please drop a note, put it in the comment. Tell me that you've enjoyed the valuable information that I prepared for you. Saw my new slides with my new pictures. So please share, like, comment, tell folks that if they want to learn about real estate, they should check the Own Again Live program on Wednesday. So, got a little music in the background. Yes, we are listening to, believe it or not, Wednesday Jazz. It's on YouTube, and today is Wednesday, and it is a good day to listen to some jazz. So come on in, come on in. Please do let me know that you're here. If you would please give StreamYard permission to access your Facebook account so I know who I am saying hi to and I'll know who I'm talking to. If not, just go ahead and put your name after your comment and I'll be able to say hi to you as well. So today we're going to be talking about short sales. And if you've been following me, you know I've launched my Own Again coaching program, and my Own Again coaching program is geared towards Black homeowners who lost their home due to foreclosure, short sale, bankruptcy, divorce, or another life event. And they're now tenants and they want to get back to owning again. And I'm going to help you with that. I'm going to help you with the mindset, the motivation, and the money. And hey, Diana. Diana is one of my lender partners, and I'm going to show her comment. There is a 5% down payment assistance program, and you don't have to pay it back. So this is the kind of valuable information that I just love sharing with my tribe here on Own Again. I'm going to turn this music off for a minute. So thank you so much, Diana, for plugging that in. She was able to share this information with me a couple weeks ago, and it is super exciting. You don't have to be a first-time home buyer. There are a lot of great pieces to this. So Diana's on Facebook. If you want to reach out to her directly, please do. If you'd like to talk with me more, I could connect you with her. You guys know I only work with folks who have shown my other clients that they're reliable, that they are trustworthy, that they have some good guidance and they can get them down the road to get their keys. So thank you again, Diana, for showing that. And you two are so very welcome. So come on in, guys. We're going to talk today about short sales. And when we have a short sale and you're ready to own again, there's lots that you want to consider, okay? So let's dive right in. So I want to make sure I give credit where credit is due, and the information that's guiding our discussion today was gleaned from incharge.org, okay? So what exactly is a short sale? And I'll tell you, this is always kind of tricky when I'm explaining this to any of the possible sellers that I'm working with or buyers who want to purchase a property that is a short sale. So in general, we talked about foreclosure a couple of shows ago. Short sale or foreclosure, what should you do? So if you're a homeowner, that is the unhappy decision a lot of distressed homeowners have to make. during the time when we had a whole bunch of real estate plummeting. And I told you guys about that. I experienced it myself, and that was back then in 2010, 2011, 2012. So short-term foreclosures could offer you like a short-term solution where you could live rent-free for a few months until the process runs its course. But a short sale is kind of a better long-term solution. It allows you to enter into the housing market a little bit quicker. So we've had, according to this report, approximately 8.7 million homeowners. They chose to go the route of a short sale, right? So they sold their homes for less than was owed on the mortgage. So there is a shortage, okay? So a short sale is when you sell your house for less than is owed on the mortgage. So between 2008 and 2018, the numbers have peaked right around 2011, and it is still an option for folks who need to sell their property quickly when they are what we call underwater. And I just listed a short sale a couple weeks ago, maybe 2 to 3 weeks ago. It went under contract in 2 days. Okay, so in a short sale, sellers are attempting to sell their home for less than they owe if the lender agrees to allow it to happen. And that is the caveat. When you see a property out there that is a short sale and you're a buyer, there is something that's called a third party approval. So the buyer and the seller may agree on the terms of the offer, but there's this third party involved in that particular transaction, and that is the lender that holds the mortgage on that property. They must approve the short sale. So lenders will report the short sale to credit bureaus as a charge off, a settlement, a deed in lieu of foreclosure, or it could be reflected as a loan settled for less than the amount due. So if you know anybody who's gone through a short sale and they take a look at their credit report, it could be reported as any of those, okay? And depending on the way that the mortgage company reports that, it could impact and have different amount of impact on your credit score, okay? So the other thing that goes along with these short sales is it tends to be a seller or homeowner who is distressed in some way. They've either lost their job, they may have lost the partner who helped with the mortgage. So there might have been two individuals on the mortgage. One is gone, whether they've left the home or they've passed away. And so the mortgage payment begins to become late. Okay. And so that undermines your credit score too. So if you're late on your payments or you miss them completely, your credit score is being hit in the beginning. Then if you decide to do a short sale, it also has further repercussions on your credit score. Okay? So that is what a short sale is. That's a little bit about how it could impact your score. We talked about it depends on how it's reported by the mortgage company. And unfortunately, we have no idea how they're going to do that until it actually occurs. So there are a number of unknowns as we walk down the path of a short sale. But today, as you know, we want to talk about how can you rebound from that. Hey, Facebook user. Hey, thanks so much for joining. I'm not sure who this is, but thank you so much for joining us today. So, can you rebound from a short sale? Absolutely, you can. So, many realtors like myself, we were in the game. We were buying investment properties, renovating them, renting them out. Sometimes it went well, and sometimes it didn't. So what do we have to do? We have to short sell our property. So there could have been an investor that needs to short sell their property. There's some today that you'll see, it looks like it's 3/4 renovated and then they stopped. right? Sometimes they stop because they ran out of money. Sometimes their partner didn't want to complete the project. There could be a number of reasons why investors have to stop. But depending on the type of loan that you will get, you might be able to swoop right in, get a renovation loan, be able to finish it up, and boom, you may have a property in a neighborhood that you normally couldn't move into. And that is why oftentimes short sales are attractive to buyers. Okay. So, how does somebody actually rebound from a short sale? You can rebound from a short sale. So, although it'll blow a hole in your credit score, dropping it sometimes 100 to 150 points, depending on where you started. Of course, the higher your credit score, depending on how long you go through the process, you can plummet quite a bit. So, your specific amount of your score drops depends on your credit history, the scoring system used, and what the lender's criteria is. But it's definitely going to have a serious negative effect if you are the homeowner. So, through foreclosures and short sales, they both can severely damage your credit, but continuing to make that mortgage payment until the short sale closes could offer you a path to an earlier rebound. Okay, so in many cases, you'll be able to obtain a mortgage for a new home in 2 years or even less if you continue to pay that mortgage until your house is sold, as opposed to what we talked about before, 5 to 7 years for foreclosure. And that is why a lot of sellers will take advantage of going the short sale route. So, a short sale, though, just like a foreclosure, it could remain on your credit for as long as 7 years. But the silver lining is short sales is that your score is likely to improve quicker than it would with a foreclosure. So, usually in about 2 years. So, if this was you and you went through a short sale and it's coming up on probably around 2 years, hit me up, give me a call. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about putting together your strategy to get back out there and own again. If you just did a short sale or a foreclosure a year or two ago, we still want to talk. Reach out to me, schedule a own again strategy call. Let's put together a plan. It could include my coaching program. It could include just giving you some other resources. We talked about budgeting, there are budgeting apps. There are a number of ways to get you on track so that you can own again. If you have credit card debt, you want to try to pay that down since that does account for about 30% of your credit score. You don't want to continue using that revolving consumer credit. If you don't have any, you might want to try to open an account. So many lenders will issue that secured credit card. I've talked about that before, which allows you to deposit some money against the purchases that you make. So consider a sum of those things in order to rebound from a short sale. There is a waiting period. I told you guys about that. I had a waiting period, and you may too. But when that waiting period is over, it is time to own again. So, short sale versus foreclosure. You want to think about what would be the best strategy for your situation. If you've come out of those or if you've already gone through a short sale or foreclosure, it is time to connect with me because, yep, I'm going to help eliminate confusion for you as a buyer by giving you some key strategies to unlock those resources to buy your dream home. Whether it's an amazing lender like Diana, who hopped on today, that has some down payment assistance programs for you. There are a number of resources, and it's really very, very specific to your situation. That's why we want to have a conversation about where you are. And I know where you want to go. You want to get those keys. So if you are through a foreclosure or you've gotten through a short sale, definitely let's talk about it. Many people do worry about one thing when they lose a house to a short sale, and it's how long will it take before they can buy another or before they can own again. So there isn't one answer. It depends on that unpaid balance. Another thing to consider are, were there some late payments before the sale? So let's talk about it and let's see where you are, what your credit looks like, what your savings look like. Let's put a plan together so that you can own again. So just think about that short sale as a negotiated exit from a mortgage. No shame in your game. Let's not look back. We talk about looking forward. And so we want to make sure that you know there is a way out of a short sale and you can absolutely purchase a home again. Let me see if we got any questions, any comments. Let's see. Now I got to maneuver a couple of different screens here. So, all right. If you do have questions and you may not want to put it in the comment, feel free to reach out to me. You can direct message me depending on where you're seeing this video, or you can go to my website, gershaporter.com. I have a contact form there. You can also reach out to me. And I think I'm going to drop it in the, well, I will. I'll drop it in the comments after the live is over. And if you'd like to set up a time to talk, my Calendly link will be there as well. So we talked about the delinquency. This really isn't focused on sellers and going the route of a short sale. It's really about what happens when you come out of it. Some homeowners who do take the route of a short sale, they do have what's called a deficiency notice. They have the responsibility to pay back a portion of the short sale. And if you know that's you know what the plan is, you know when you're going to be able to make all of that come down to zero and own again. And that's when we can put that timeline together based on how aggressive you are with paying that off, as well as some of your other financial responsibilities. So when folks are going through a short sale, because they are delinquent, oftentimes they're late or they're not making the full payment on their mortgage, that once again will impact your credit. So if you have any questions, please do drop it in the chat. You can right now make a comment and I'll be happy to respond. And if you're looking at this on the replay, please do put hashtag replay, write your comments, your questions. And as I mentioned earlier, please do share this video with your friends, with your family, anybody who might be interested in learning more about what they could do if they went through a short sale and they are ready to own again. Awesome. So once again, if you've lost your home to foreclosure, short sale, bankruptcy, or divorce, if you want to get coached back to your greatness of being a homeowner, just join our Facebook group. When you go to gershaporter.com, you can click on the tab, go to our Own Again Facebook group, where we put amazing information in there for all of our tribe that are moving towards owning a home again. If you want to book a call with me, I'll make sure to drop the link in the chat, and you can set up a call to discuss the steps that you'll need to take to own again and whether or not coaching is the right thing for you. I'll see you next Wednesday at 5 o'clock. And if you haven't already, please do like our Facebook page, follow our Facebook page. It is porterpremierhomes.com, so you'll be notified when we go live again. All righty. I have a question. Are you sharing the mortgage with the new buyer? Are you sharing the mortgage with the new buyer? I'm going to take a stab at that. And if you could write that question another way for me, I'll try to respond. I think the question is, are you sharing the unpaid mortgage? So today we're talking about short sales, and I'll just use an example. If the house has a mortgage of $500,000 on it, but it's only worth $400,000 on the market, it's sold for $400,000. The bank says you still owe them $500,000. There's a $100,000 difference or shortage in the mortgage. So if I'm reading this correctly, the question might be, what happens to that $100,000? It is not shared with the new buyer. The new buyer, they just bought that house for $400,000. They have a loan for $400,000. They're not involved at all in the fact that the homeowner went through a short sale. For them, it's just like a fair market purchase. However, when a buyer does buy a house that is a short sale, they're buying it as is, and that's because the seller has no money to make any repairs, and the bank usually won't make any repairs either. So that's a little bit about when you move forward as a buyer to purchase a home as a short sale. So you want to make sure you have some money to do some painting and some carpeting. You still have a home inspection, so you know what you're up against when you purchase that home and you've moved in. But the $100,000, that is the difference between the sales price and the mortgage that's owed, that $100,000 is what the bank will actually forgive, right? They either forgive it, or as I mentioned earlier, some folks do have what we call a deficiency notice, in which they need to pay some of that $100,000. Okay. In my experience, and you guys know this is my 18th year in real estate, I've helped a number of sellers walk through the short sale process, and none of my sellers have had to pay that deficiency. Okay, so I can only speak from my experience. Thanks so much that I've answered that pretty good for you. But that's exactly, so the concern is not for the buyer. If you're the buyer and you see a short sale on the market and it is in the neighborhood you want to move into, it's in a good condition, you're willing to spend your money on carpet, your money on paint, you may have an inspection and the furnace might need servicing. Okay. There might be some settlement cracks somewhere. You need to get a contractor in there to fix that. Those might be enough of a reason for you to move forward and say, hey, I am now in a neighborhood that I knew I could never afford to move into. And I'm going to take my time, get this house in the condition I'd like it to be, but I'm up in here now. Okay, so you got a chance to actually purchase a home. We call foreclosures and short sale, we call them distressed properties. So when a buyer purchases a property like that, they're buying them as is. The seller will make no repair. So the foreclosure, it's owned by the bank. They don't intend to make any repairs. And a short sale, even though the homeowner probably still lives in that property, they're in a position where they can't make any repairs because they can't even make their mortgage payment. So that is what you want to understand when you are moving forward to purchase a short sale, is that if there's any repairs that need to be made, and I'm not sure if Diane is still on here, but there are also renovation loans, right? And a lot of folks will use those to buy a short sale. They'll get the home inspection. The house is on the market for $400. They're pre-approved for $450. They have about $40,000 or so wiggle room. They may use that $40,000 to paint, to replace the flooring, to service the HVAC, any of those types of things. And that's when you will be able to shop below your means, find something in a neighborhood that you've always dreamed of living in, and then do a little bit of work to fix it up. Okay. So thank you so much. Let me see. I think we have another. Okay. Same question. All righty. We have any other questions about this? Let me know. I'm definitely going to go back after I hop off and see whether or not there have been any additional questions. But as I mentioned, absolutely feel free. I'm going to drop my link right now. If you're interested in setting up a time to talk with me, I'm going to the Own Again coaching strategy. Here is the comment. I'm going to put it in here now in the chat, and you could schedule a time to talk with me. Okay. Well, thank you again for joining me today for our Facebook Live. We're going to go out with a little bit of music. And if there is anything, it says an error occurred with my link. I'll make sure to put it in the Facebook group. But if there's any additional questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to me. Visit my website at GershonPorter.com. Have a great rest of the evening. Take care. See you next week. Way to say jazz.